I spent the past 30 over years looking at semicolon and ampersand because computer source code is very unforgiving. You cannot have one more ampersand or less ampersand or one asterisk. The result is very different. Yeah. And sometimes when they report a bug, yeah, then I say, okay, let me go and change something. Then after that, oh, Sifu now crash. Then I say, oh, good. Then they're like, how come crash is good? Then, oh, because then I know what is going on. Because then there's some noticeable outcome. Yeah. In a way, it's like our life, you know. Imagine if you do some wrong things, immediately you get a very bad headache. Like let's say you do something unwholesome, immediately you got one lump here. Who dare to do unwholesome things? It's because the result is not so obvious. Our bug is always hidden, you know. Our bug doesn't surface, no crash. Yeah, imagine you do something unwholesome, within next 5 minutes, blue screen. Your whole vision all become blue. Yeah, there's a blue screen appear, and then there's error code. Yeah, you go and kill and then immediately dong, there's a loud sound dong, and then blue screen error code 1 panati pata violation of the following code. Yeah, please reset system. Then everybody will get enlightened very quickly. Yeah, but unfortunately we don't have such a system. Yeah. But when we say we don't have in a way we have also. If you observe your precepts very strongly, or you take if you learn the teachings very deeply and really internalize, the moment you want to do something wrong, or the moment after you do something, or when you're doing, or after you do, your heart is very troubled. To the point where even in your dream, you are about to do something stupid. Oh yeah, okay, cannot. Yeah. So the trouble is most of us uninstall the virus scan. Yeah. We totally, you're like, yeah, this virus scan very troublesome. We uninstall the virus scan. So no more warning. You know. The other day I clicked on, I was because now I don't use the broadcasting software, I just use Zoom directly because we are resuming our SGC, and then for the classes that we go onto Facebook, I also just use Zoom directly. Yeah, although it's quite fun to play with the broadcast software like the XSplit, then you can switch scene or whatever. But I mean, at this point in time, I'm like, I want it to be as simple as possible. So I stopped using it. But previously, I also tried another software called Open Broadcasting Software, OBS. So that software does more or less exactly the same as XSplit. Yeah, it's not Zoom. It's a broadcasting software. So it allows you to insert video source, images, text. It's like MediaCorp like that, but on a much smaller scale and totally driven by software. So anyway, I also tried Open Broadcasting Software, OBS, but it has certain limitations. Yeah, it's not able to capture the OneNote because on OneNote, it will be a blank screen, and until today, nobody can fix it. So sometimes I'm like, I feel like telling them, I used to be a developer. Can you please pass me a source code? Let me take a look at what's going on. But then the other day on Facebook, I saw an advertisement saying that they have a new version. I thought, maybe this version will fix it. So I didn't do anything. Then after it appeared a few times, I decided, okay, let me go and try. So I really go and click and then went to the page. and then look for the download. But when it download, I noticed something strange, that 6 megabyte. The last time was at least, 70, 80 megabyte. How come it becomes so small? So I thought, okay, these days, some companies, they instead of letting you click and download the whole thing, they just download payload. So what it means is that the download that you download the first time is actually not the full software. It's just a payload software that runs and then do the actual download. Yeah. So this way, the actual server that is being chosen is not fixed. Yeah. So depending on location, they will do load balancing. If you're in Asia, they will download from the Asia server. They may even do like peer sharing to make it much faster. Yeah. But the whole experience is your first download is very fast. Like if you download Chrome, you notice you click, it's like, wow, so fast. Yeah. But then after that, they say, okay, now installing. But installing includes the download. But you know what happened? After I download, I noticed 6 megabyte, right? Then next thing you know, Windows virus, malware. I was like, what is this? So I went to Facebook to go and report. Yeah, so the other day, they finally removed the advertisement. They blocked them from posting. So in a way, this whole process is just like our cultivation, Yeah, it's just our cultivation. Yeah. The role of the teacher is there to make sure that if let's say individual students the practice is wrong, then the teacher is supposed to point out. Yeah. So give you an alert. Yeah. Or other students report, then the teacher will review. Then that okay, this one cannot. Yeah, that's what the Buddha did. So teachers by and large, that's part of what we are supposed to do. Yeah. So which brings me to another point. Yeah, you all notice that sometimes I will share screen before during the sit. Sometimes I don't, right? So I share screen for you all. And you all notice that the share screen become longer and longer. Yeah, and today there's something special. Yeah. Everyone, please close your eyes and meditate. If you join this group just to look at people sitting, you may be barred from the sittings. I will presume most of you didn't read it or may not have read it because if your intent is just to join to sit, it becomes a regular thing. You come in, you just bow, yeah, and then you start sitting. So this will work. Yeah, so this is a very effective messaging because this will work for those who are looking around. Yeah, because a few times I noticed, yeah, not just one person, but usually those who there were one or two students who don't attend classes regularly. Then come in. That's why I come in. Then as I'm getting ready, then I notice the person sitting down there, then just looking. I'm like, it's quite a supposed to be. 是来接个人看人。They come here to sit or come here to look at people. Yeah, of course, I also hesitated to bring it up. Yeah, because I was thinking, if I don't bring it up, maybe most of you wouldn't notice and you would be happily sitting. But if I don't bring up, if I bring up, then some of you become self-conscious, like, hey, is anyone looking at me? But I feel that, but I noticed that a few of them come a few times, then I don't see them anymore. Yeah. So it could be a variety of reasons. Some of them may be anticipating like, hey, will the teacher, will Sifu be giving some sharing? Because some of them, when they attend sitting, right, they are used to having instructions, But you notice for morning sits, except for the early part, like last year, December, after that, I basically don't do instructions anymore. Why? Because for regular sitting, you're not supposed to be having any more instructions. Yeah, It's like, imagine you go for a swim. Only when you're in a class, then the teacher tell you, okay, do breathing, go blow bubble, blow. Then you push the head down. You want to come up, blow. Yeah, then when you are swimming, then the teacher hold your hand and kick faster. Then okay, go to the next one. Then you then after that, pass you the float. Hold on to the float. Okay, kick. But eventually, when you are more or less there already, the teacher will say, okay, hold the float, then swim halfway, take away the float. Yeah. Then you just continue. Can, go. But once you already know, the coach will just be standing outside and then blowing the whistle. Okay, when you hear the whistle, then switch. That's it. Yeah. And eventually, once you finish the course, when you go to a swimming pool, you don't expect an instructor to still come and stretch, breathe. But 烦死了。So some students, they may come in expecting that Sifu will give teachings. Yeah, but this is not a class, this is a daily sitting group practice. As a result, maybe after looking around for a while, then they don't come. But I noticed one or two, maybe one, more like one. Always sit down there, then again, as I said, if I don't bring it up, most people will not notice. Yeah, but what I don't want is for some new students who happen to come in and then they see this person staring, then people get frightened, So we have to be, this week we're supposed to practice loving kindness, compassion, right? Yeah. Don't have to go out to Africa, try to go and save people, Don't have to go US to try to save people. Don't have to. Nowadays, we don't say China anymore. Nowadays, say go US to save people. Because US nowadays very tough. Huh? Right here, every morning when we sit, yeah, you can practice compassion by coming in to just do your practice. That is very compassionate. Don't sit there and look at people. Oh, I don't want to point out name. Initially, and you'll notice that I left a message inside the chat also. Yeah. Initially, I directed the chat to that person. Then I said, okay, give each other some face. Don't say Sifu always but this is not the first time. Don't think that first time that Sifu say this. Sifu noticed quite a few times already. Yeah. Of course, maybe the person or some of you may say, then Sifu, you're not meditating. If Sifu also close eye, then also don't care, then already started, right? I start saying Sifu's duty is not just to sit here and join you all to sit. I have to observe once in a while also. Yeah. So I already give warning. Let me show the screen again. So after that, if you get bad, don't come and appeal or come and complain or whatever. Everyone. Actually, when I write this, I also want to laugh. Everyone, please close your eyes and meditate. It's like primary school. Boys and girls, close your eye. Okay. If you join this group just to look at people sitting, you may be barred from sittings. Okay? Can Okay, so everybody know already. Happy, Okay. Yeah, 教授没有讲啊. So, anybody have any questions to ask today? If not, because today I'm quite free. So, because we're not going for a walk. So, Marcel, can you pull up one question? And nowadays, I notice that I'm quite good. I praise myself a bit. Nowadays, I'm able to answer the question in about 5-10 minutes time. Last time my opening, you see, today my opening is about 15 minutes. Last time my opening is, today's opening plus highlighting a few points, just about 15 plus minutes. Not bad.
Shifu, maybe one question from me.
From you? Oh, okay.
So I tend to over celebrate after achieving something.
Over celebrate.
Yeah, something like after doing a retreat, maybe they were like, oh, chiong ah. Like having a good food.
Oh, I thought you said, Chong, I'll go and meditate for 10 more hours.
Yeah. So how to remedy it?
How to remedy it?
Yeah.
How to... Then you want Sifu to handcuff you, or you want Sifu to take a wallet and put into water and freeze it. No, but first of all, thank you for sharing your question. While your situation may be quite unique, I think we all have our own poison. In your case, it is after you do something. The example you gave is after you do something good, you accomplish something. It could be something worldly also. Like some people, after they go for a run, then they go for a big meal. That's a kind of defeats the purpose. So it is understandable. Yeah. It is understandable that after we do some practices or after we put in strenuous effort to accomplish something, we may kind of want to let loose a bit. Yeah. And there's a very simple explanation, and it is that so let me first use psychology to explain. Yeah, it is about cognitive load. Yeah, so there's this theory that we have a cognitive load capacity. That means, what is cognitive load? That means our ability first of all, what is cognitive function or ability? That means this ability to to think about things and then decide and to make decisions. So far so good. Yeah, cognitive ability. Yeah, so to be able to recognize and then to think about it, to decide. Yeah, a whole series of functions. So cognitive load means when you don't have to think about anything, there's no load. When you have to think about something, there's a load. Yeah, load means something that you have to do, right? So including having to make decisions. Yeah, and the harder the decisions, the heavier the load. Okay, so far so good. So cognitive load capacity means what is your capacity to do this? To do what? To be able to think, to cognize, to think, then to make decisions. Yeah, but more importantly, to make decisions correctly. If you just anyhow make decisions, no load. So maybe sometimes you see some people stress-free is that they just can like that, also can like that, also can. Yeah, of course, no stress, no load. So the theory goes that all of us have a certain capacity, but each person's capacity is different, some higher, some lower. Okay, and then if we have things that is on our mind, it is actually an ongoing load. So every day, like when you feel rested already, then the load restores. But if a person have some ongoing thing like house loan, things like house loan is an ongoing load. Children is a forever load. Yeah. So the moment you have children, your cognitive capacity, when you're having exam, cannot make other decisions anymore. Yeah, and so on. Okay, so when you go for a retreat, actually your cognitive load can also be, your capacity can be used up also. Yeah, why? Because we are deciding to do things that we normally wouldn't do. Yeah, I say this because for most people that's true. But if let's say you are on a retreat every day and you have fully embraced this, then when you are on a retreat, no cognitive load. You're very stress-free. That's why for some people, retreat is very relaxing. For some people, retreat is very stressed. Yeah, because they are fighting with themselves. And then maybe on top of the fighting to be ceased, and then they are still they have more questions like, why am I doing this? So then even more load. And as a result, when you finish up, then you have no more capacity to make the right decisions anymore. Then all your urges is just waiting for you. So as a result, the moment you finish your retreat, it's like, okay, I must go and enjoy myself now. So a simple way to explain is to look at this from using psychology, describing the cognitive load. So how about Buddhist angle? The Buddhist angle is our habitual tendency since beginningless time, is a certain direction. What is that direction? Towards this shore. Not towards the other shore, towards samsara. All our tendency, not maybe I shouldn't say all, majority, the resultant. I like. That's why I like maths and physics. You talk about resultant force. So you can have all kinds of force, but you vectorize everything, you add up all the sum of the vector, then you have a resultant vector. And for unenlightened beings, our resultant vector tend to point towards samsara. So when we attempt one top, then let me draw it out. Then you see, you know what I mean. I tell you, physics is so beautiful. This is the drawing we did last time. So just now talk about this shore and that shore, right? Yeah. So this is nirvana, and this is samsara. So every morning we do one sitting, right? One sitting. So you think every day we sit, so we should reach the other shore very fast, right? Then the problem is that after we sit, then we have all kinds of other thoughts. That's assuming that the whole 1 hour that you sit, your thought is all in the direction of nirvana, which is not right. But let's assume that all our thoughts, our mental energy is directed towards nirvana. But for the rest of the day, what happened? Some of it is neutral, some of it is like this, some of it is a bit towards some nirvana, but then sengit one. So all kinds of angle. But there are more pointing towards samsara. So as a result, what happened? If you were to, oops, sorry. Oh, hang on. Oh, my pen mode. Okay. So imagine if you can add up all these vector, right? Then you move this, then you add up. Okay, you add all this up. This is how vector mathematics work. You just basically join all the arrows. Let's see in this example whether this person go anywhere. Okay, let's see where this person go. Okay, what happened? Well, the arrow become bigger somehow. Okay, can you see where the resultant direction is? So we start from here, right? And then we end up here. So the resultant vector is, the resultant vector is from here to here, roughly. Okay, this is the resultant vector. But Shifu, you draw so many up arrow, but you only draw one up arrow. Because most of you only do one sitting a day. This is tomorrow's, this is tomorrow's arrow. This is yesterday arrow. This is next week's arrow. Then one day you skip, so blank space. Somehow, do you think you start here Maybe you start here, leh. Who knows? Maybe you start here, leh. You know, and this is not drawn to scale. This gap is don't know how many kappa. So is it any surprise? Yeah. So using the Buddhist teaching, yeah, we can also understand that our tendency is always, our strong tendency towards samsara. So during retreat, for a whole day, we point in the opposite direction as our habitual tendency. So we are putting in a lot of effort. Yeah. But we have mentally told ourselves we come for a retreat. So we mentally prepare ourselves to sustain this effort, for this period. So after that, then unconsciously or consciously, okay, release. The moment you release, the whole flow of the samsaric tendency, wow! So tendency is there. Yeah. But this is not always true. This is not always true. Because at least for myself, when I went for retreats, after the retreat for at least a few, maybe up to a few weeks, yeah, so over time, after the retreat, over time, I find for myself, I don't revert back to normal behavior so quickly. My tendency is the most impactful was the novice retreat. It was so impactful that when I went back home, everything is super amplified. So I didn't delight in, like, when I still go and turn on the TV, but I found myself lowering the volume until, if I don't recall wrongly, was like I lower to maybe like 8, level 8. Yeah. Normally we listen to the sound at 20 something. I had to reduce down to about 8. Okay, can hear, can. Then in the evening when my sisters came back, then they go and get dinner, then they sit down and eat. Then they're like, yes, I'm not anesthesia. Then they were like wondering how come the sound is so soft. Can barely hear anything. Then I'm like, huh? Then they asked to, who turned it down? Then I'm like, huh? That it's not that I want to show off on that day. No, but I really feel that it's loud enough. So I increased to 10. Then they're like, still cannot hear lah. Then it's 12. Up to 14. I'm like, very too loud. So because the senses are so quietened, it becomes so sensitive, Yeah. So quite naturally, I didn't find myself being drawn towards the usual stuff. Yeah. And further, I wanted to, and that's not even taking into consideration the traffic. Wow, the bus is, everything is like, wow. But my colleagues said that I play the table soccer, the football table. After the retreat, when I came back, and they show me play, I still play lah. Then, you know what they said? Wow, are you sure you went for a monk retreat? Is it that during the retreat you all secretly play football? How come you are playing so well, much better after the retreat? Yeah. So for different people it varies. And for myself, I tried to maintain some level or consistent practice for a while, and it was okay for a while. But after maybe about 1-2 weeks, the most was maybe like 3 weeks. After 2-3 weeks, then it just so for some people it's like that. Yeah, for some people it's more of like pent up pressure. So but don't beat yourself over it. Oh. I think it's good that Marcel bring it up because some of us may be facing it, but maybe didn't know what to do with it or didn't think that this is a common thing. Yeah, and we all experience it differently. Oh. So if you, I can't say that there's one magic pill for you to take and then the problem solved. All I can say is that you can maybe adjust your mindset towards the retreat. Yeah, because for most people, they take retreat as a one-time thing and then that's it. Yeah. Another way to look, which is not a bad thing also, at least you do that. Yeah. But another way to look at retreats is that this is something that you want to emulate for on a daily basis. That this is not something that is imposed upon you. Yeah. You're not going for a army camp so very xiong after that, I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. And that's why it's important during the retreat to find something that you resonate with, find something that you connect with, that if I can use the word enjoy. Yeah. There was once I heard one venerable highlight share this. He said, any practices you do, including attending Dharma class, you must find something you enjoy. I thought, Dharma practices not supposed to enjoy. No. When they describe jhana, joy and rapture, it's an enjoyment. 宪法乐住, yeah, the happiness here and now. Otherwise, you think Buddhists all crazy, torture themselves. There must be something good that you can experience that is pleasant. There's nothing wrong with the sitting being pleasant. There's nothing wrong with enjoying the retreat. That you feel, hey, it's nice. You generally feel happy, not that you're having some super experience, then you feel happy. But the fact that you just sit there and you can reflect. Every day you go to work and then stress, go for meeting like this and then people chase you for things. During the retreat, nobody chase you for anything. Wow, what a difference. Wow, I don't have to rush. Even going toilet, Suf tell us, take your time, take your own sweet time, it's okay. Yeah. But even when you walk, nobody, trying to get you out of the way. You take every day if you take train, stressful. Then get pushed out, then right? Yeah, so during retreat, that's why I always highlight, take your time to walk. Yeah, but don't walk like robot, too small, too slow. But take your time. Why? Because no matter where you walk, you're still in the hall, not going anywhere. Yeah, but the truth is, even in our own life, that's the case, isn't it? We rush here, rush there, still in Singapore. Rush what? No, simple. I'm rushing to go overseas. Yeah, still on Earth. What? Unless you're telling me you rush, then you fly to Mars. Then at least, okay, can. Okay, can. You go and rush lah. But even then, you're in samsara. So change your mindset towards the retreat. Then if you can start to appreciate the way of life, yeah, the mode of existence in the retreat, then you won't be so eager to go and so-called celebrate. But this requires a shift, a paradigm shift. Use some of the industry terms. Paradigm shift. All the marketing people are always on the. So we are very excited to share with you a new product, and this brings about a complete paradigm shift. Yeah, the phone is no longer a phone; it's a companion. Whatever rubbish. Yeah, rubbish lah. You're just selling a phone. Come on, you're just peddling plastic and metal. So have a shift in the way you look at the retreat. Then you may find that your post-retreat experience will be a bit different. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Anybody else have other questions? If not, have a satisfying Saturday ahead. 愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿消三障诸烦恼，
愿得智慧真明了，
愿得智慧真明了，
不愿罪障悉消除，
不愿罪障悉消除，
世世常行菩萨道。
世世常行菩萨道。
阿弥陀佛。
阿弥陀佛。